So it's like 10 o'clock at night, and my neighbour just called like 5 minutes ago, and he said that he found a drop bear. So as soon as he called, I was like, oh my god, I need some camera, because like I knew like none of my friends would believe me. Yeah, so here's the clip.
Yeah, it was about like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Something like right across the roof. And it like grabbed onto that back tree, and I saw it was in that tree, and the dog fucking was going from mental. Kept barking. I'm like, what the hell is going on? you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I heard that.
So I went outside, I looked at the tree, and there it was, freaking looking at me. And I just heard this terrible noise. It was like this terrible hissing noise. And I shined my torch like right in his eyes, and his eyes went like blue, like when you shine it in like a dog's eyes.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking like I was gonna like go outside and like investigate it with like my dad, but he's not home yet. Do you still think I should go out? Because I thought I would make like a video thing on it for like a school thing.
Yeah, no, I don't really want you like going out there by yourself. Probably wait till your father gets home. You know.
Yeah,
it's not exactly a good idea. So
yeah.
Also, do you remember when I told you to?
We're out hunting for drop bears in a bush near where I live. They're nocturnals like koalas, so we're only going to see them at night. Last time I saw one, it was about maybe 5 years ago. It was around here somewhere. I think one was spotted last night somewhere around here. That's why I came out here. Oh shit. Someone's fell from the tree up there. What the hell? I think I see one. Guys. It's too dark. I can't get around. I think I lost them. I've been running out of the area where this tree is for the last 5 minutes. Out of breath. My phone torch is gonna die soon. I think I'm close to my house. I can hear trains, so definitely close to home. I saw one. I'm gonna tell my dad. Because he thought he saw one yesterday, but he wasn't sure. Then we're gonna have to tell the ranger who looks after this area about it. My phone torch is about to die. My socks are saturated. I didn't have time to put shoes on because we had a neighbor call and he said he saw one, and after that I was like, hey, I want to make a video about him. I drop bears. So that's what I'm doing. As you can see from the last clip, I did find a drop bear today, which I hadn't seen in like 5 years. The last time I saw one, I went out with my dog to walk my dog, and I saw one with my uncle. But today I went out after my neighbour called and said he had one in his backyard, because he has a lot of trees in his backyard. We live close to like a park area where there's a lot of koalas and also drop bears. Anyway, so there's been like a growth in population in drop bears. It's been on the news lately. So I wasn't surprised that I found one, but it was pretty dangerous. I got in a lot of trouble. So some of you non-Australians may be asking, what is a drop bear? Well, they're one of our rarer species of animals in Australia, and they're not as known as like the kangaroo or the koala. Well, basically they're a subspecies of a koala. They're like a koala's cousin, almost. And they're dangerous, they're very vicious, and they're pretty well known in Australia. So they go in the trees and they drop down and they'll attack you. Mostly at night because they're nocturnal, kind of like a koala. If you want to see what they look like, here's a short clip from a news segment.
So Deb's going to be holding a drop bear. She's got the drop bear suit on. Yeah. How are you feeling?
Well, at the moment, okay, because there's nothing near me, but it is a bit like a Batman suit. So I'm a bit worried about why I need this level of protection.
So drop bears are a close cousin of the koala, but they're actually really vicious. So it's sort of like a dingo and a normal domestic dog. They're bigger, they've got longer claws. They've actually got really small fangs, and the interesting thing about the fangs is they have a really mild venom. It's not like a snake venom that can make you really sick, but it just causes a lot of really local irritation. So the third most common injury that we see in tourists in Australia is actually from drop bear attack. So James Cook, one of the early explorers who first came to Australia, he actually coined the term. So he was there with Joseph Banks, and what they found was that these things kept dropping out of the trees and attacking them, and they thought they looked like little bears, so they were just like, we'll call it a drop bear, and so the name's stuck. But technically, it's actually just a subspecies of the koala.
It looks visually, it looks very like a koala.
Yeah, like a wilder version. Yeah. So if you look at, I won't come too close, but I'm just going to point. So the difference between this and a normal koala, firstly, you're going to see the size. Then if you can see he's got those black hairs that are almost like bristles. They actually come out a lot further from the fur, so they're really, really coarse.
Okay.
Keep your hands down nice and low.
Okay.
All right, I'm just going to flat hand.
Okay.
Oh, he's putting yours now.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Okay.
no fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice and steady with the
Yeah.
bear.
Yeah.
And keep him calm.
Yeah.
Everybody looks very, very worried about this. I'm
Yeah.
trying not to be worried because I've been told that he can sense if I'm worried.
Yeah.
We've been told that this is quite a dangerous bear that's been known to attack people. It's called a drop bear because they drop out of the tree to attack people. Just been handed it and had to put on all of this protection gear because of what it might do to me. I'm not quite sure what it's doing right now. Oh, it's looking at what? Okay.
No, I thought he was going to get you.
Right.
I really want to take it off me. Insurance might not cover it. Do you want to take it off?
Shit. I'm really not.
I'm going to get the dart gun. Just don't move. Don't.
If you want to see the whole video, I'll link it down in the description for you. Anyway, so they are very dangerous. Sometimes we'll try and warn the tourists if they're going into a very bush sort of area where there's a lot of trees. And you always gotta bring a torch if you may. I would say they're more dangerous than a lot of other creatures. Sure, maybe a crocodile would be more dangerous, or a grey white shark, but they're one of the most dangerous land animals in Australia. But they're also really rare, so that's good. I figured that a lot of you wouldn't even know they existed, so I thought I'd make a video about it, just to let you know about them. So they're very vicious. They attack a lot of tourists, mostly because they don't really know they exist. Because a lot of people, they go out with an irresponsible ranger. They'll go around the bush area, and they won't warn them. They won't warn the tourists, which is pretty irresponsible. You have to have a license to do bush ranging tours in Australia. A lot of these rangers, they pretend they have a license, so they don't completely fill in the tourists about them, and they get attacked. So it's a pretty big issue in Australia. There are a lot of conspiracy theorists. They're no, they're not real. Australia just made it up, But no, they are actually real. As you can see in the clip I showed you before, they are real animals. If you Google it, it's kind of like the flat earthers. You Google it and there's heaps of fake articles. There's heaps of fake articles about anti-vaxxers and stuff like that. So yeah, if you ever come to Australia, make sure you go with a licensed bush ranger if you're going for a bush tour, which I recommend going on a bush tour. They're very good. They're also very popular in Australia, but make sure you're with a licensed ranger who can warn you about the drop bears and can help you if you get stuck with one. They'll help you and teach you what to do to get out of that situation. So yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video, and stay safe.
Insurance might not cover it. Do you want to take it off?
Shit. I'm really not.
I'm going to get the dart gun. Just don't move. Don't move.
No. Okay.
Notice I have an extra
Okay,
thumb on
okay.
compared to the koala. No, take it off. Take it off.
Please
Take it off.
take it off me.
Go on.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
Good boy. All right. Good work, Sam. Thanks, mate. Let's go. There we go.
You're kidding me! You're kidding me!
Oh, my dude, you just got pranked. Bet you didn't see that one coming, huh?
You look great.
Fucking Aussies.
Yes, drop bears are made up. They're a myth. They don't exist. It's just a part of Australian culture to prank tourists that they do exist, so we can scare them. mostly Americans, but also the rest of the world, because a lot of people don't know a lot about this country, which is surprising to me. Like, I read comments for my last Australian video, and people didn't know Vegemite existed. Like, what? It's like the thing Australia is most known for. I hope you enjoyed this video, and goodbye. Oh yeah, I forgot to add, if you're wondering how I got my neighbour on board to do that clip on the phone, yeah, I didn't. That was my voice. I recorded my voice and I changed it to make it sound like it was on the phone and it was someone else. Effort in my videos, guys. And it like grabbed onto that back tree and I saw it was in that tree and the dog.
Yeah, it was about like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Something like right across the roof. And it like grabbed onto that back tree and I saw it was in that tree.
Goodbye for real and enjoy that clip of the rain I filmed today.